What up, what up, what up, everyone, and welcome again to another edition, the fourth episode, the DT Lounge podcast. I'm one half of your hosting duo. I'm Donnie.
What's going on, everybody? And I'm the other half of the hosting duo. My name is Tarik, and we are the host of your podcast this evening.
That's right. And we always say on our podcast, we hope to make you think, make you laugh, and also, of course, enjoy a drink with us as we discuss a variety of things going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And on tonight's podcast, we are going to dive into a few topics. But before we do that, Donnie,
What's up?
What's in the cup?
Well, it's kind of hard to see. I got the big stainless tonight, but yep. I went with a little Old Faithful, man. I got a big bottle, so whatever. I got the little Crown again.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
enjoying the Crown, sipping on that.
Okay.
What are you sipping on there, Tarik?
All right. So great minds think alike because I also have Crown tonight. So yeah, I'm on the Crown and ginger ale.
All right.
Yeah. So
That's good stuff.
Yeah, a good solid drink.
It's just good when it hits your lips.
Yeah, it is definitely a good solid drink.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
That's for sure. It's become like a staple, lately. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a good drink.
Yeah, hey man, I don't know if you noticed, man. We got over 200 people on our Facebook page, man. 212 the last time I checked.
Okay.
On our Facebook page. So that's thanks to everyone out there. But you know what? We need help from those 212 people, dude. We got to get them to subscribe to our YouTube channel, man.
Yes.
Check it out on YouTube. I know we've been posting it on the Facebook page. So click on it, go to the YouTube, hit subscribe. You'll be good to go. You'll be showing us some love. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. And don't forget about our Instagram page. And like last week, the Twitter is almost on its way.
Almost on the way. Yeah.
Almost on the way. It's still getting ready.
All right. Yeah.
It's still in the house getting ready.
Yeah. It's in the production stage.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it done, man. Before the end of 2020, I promise.
Yeah, 2020. It's a crazy year. You got us all thrown off here,
Yeah, man. Yeah, 2020 is it's one for the ages, man.
Man, that's for sure. It is. Yeah. Oh man. I don't even want and I'm sure we'll get into this, later in the year. But I always look forward to right before New Year's when they do all those videos, the montages of all the things that have happened and the highlights and then obviously some of the lowlights. Man, this one's gonna be like straight up horror show.
Yeah,
what's going on, man?
Yeah, it's gonna be straight lowlights, no highlights to this year, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm extremely blessed to be here, and I'd rather be here than not. But man, I've never seen anything like this, man. I've never seen anything like this. It's it got off on the wrong foot when we lost Kobe. You know what I mean? And I know other people lost. I see the salute. I know other people lost people close to them and things of that nature. But it just hit different when it's when it's a ball player or a celebrity or somebody that that we practically grew up with that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the same age as you. Y'all graduated the same year, and we watched him mature from become go from a boy to a man on the basketball court. So yeah, man, I knew 2020 was it was off to some bullshit when that took place, and it just went straight downhill from there. So
just spiraling, man. It was crazy. Side note before we get into that spiral, Kobe's second year. Remember when he and Mike went at it up in there in Chicago?
Yeah.
And Mike had like 37, and Kobe he had like 33 or something like that. The Bulls pulled out the victory. I was there at that game. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. sitting a little
Okay.
VIP. I was second row, little,
Oh, okay.
a little side story. So two of my faves right there, MJ and Kobe.
Yeah, so
Got some good pitches on that one.
so you was there at well, I won't say that was the passing of the guard because if I recall correctly, the Bulls still ended up winning the championship that year, but it was kind of he was on his way.
That
Had
was
he
one of those that set the stage.
Yeah, but he was real young at that time. He hadn't even had the Utah airball games yet, right? Yeah, because I think that happened like they won. Okay, wait.
No, I mean I think that happened. Wasn't that his rookie year when he had those? And it was the end of his rookie year when he had those airball games, and then he came back on fire and really worked out all summer. And then it
Oh,
was
okay.
then he got more playing time, got in the starting lineup, and yeah, he and Mike went at it. And that was a although the game I don't think was really ever. I mean, it went back and forth, but the vibe was never like that. The Bulls were going to lose, and they didn't.
Yeah,
Um, but man, I remember like, man, Kobe he is the next best thing, that's for sure.
yeah,
And he showed up that night, and I think that's the night that he truly earned Mike's respect, on the court.
yeah,
And as Mike has said, even at the eulogy that we didn't know how close they were, but they were like brothers, that's for sure. Yeah.
yeah. And I thought that was really dope, being that Kobe emulated so much of his game after Mike. So
Hmm.
it's only right that they was that tight. I mean, because you I would imagine someone of Mike's stature, just you don't let just anybody get close to you unless you see a certain cloth that
Yeah.
they are cut from, and that cloth got to look very familiar for you
Yeah.
to be dropping jewels to him the way he was. So,
Yeah. That's
um,
for sure.
but yeah, man, R.I.P. to Kobe.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so we were on the topic of how shitty of a year 2020 has been, and we gonna stay on course. Um, so this past weekend had another situation with a unarmed black man being shot, shot 7 times in the back. Um, yeah, Jacob Blake. This was in uh, I want to get the name right.
Kenosha, Kenosha,
Kenosha,
Wisconsin.
Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yeah, he
Where the
shot.
where the hell is Kenosha, Wisconsin?
From what I understand, is just outside of Milwaukee. Um,
Okay, all right.
yeah, man, yeah. This situation. I mean, it goes without saying how unfortunate this is. I mean, it took place in front of his kids, which that's any like the whole situation is a nightmare. But for your kids to have to witness it, it's
And what's sad,
it's
and
just
not just his kids that were in the car. When you see multiple aspects of the video, there were
yeah,
there were other kids there too, and
yeah,
and adults as well too. And
yeah,
anyone there that is witnessing something like that is just it's heartbreaking. You know.
yeah. It is, man.
Um,
It really is. It's yeah. Watching that video, the young lady that was in the street, scream as the cop shot, and
mhm.
she was just jumping up and down like you. I do this a lot, and I shouldn't do it because it gets me to an emotional place. But you put your loved one, you picture one of your loved ones being in that position, and it's just agonizing, man, because she was put in a position to where she thought she witnessed them kill her loved one. And
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, it's just a sad situation.
Well,
Um,
and I think you hit the nail right on the head, man. That emotional. There's such an emotional thing that goes with it because I know you and I talk, man. I like you said it right. I mean, you put yourself in that situation, and we've talked about our friendship on this pod, and we've delved
mhm.
deep into it and how long it is, and man, like anyone, but especially you or I, like man, I can't even fathom being in that situation, and that would be just such a nightmare. Um, if that were ever come true, man. That's just not something I even want to even think about.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's just such a shitty situation. I mean, we got to do better, man. This is a scary time we are in, man. Like you know, I, me being a black man and always, hearing about, the civil rights movements and the situations that black people had to, go through in the 40s, 50s, 60s, just dealing with ridiculous amounts of prejudice and um, bigoted people. I knew it existed still, but it's so much of it being caught on tape nowadays to where it's unreal. And then what's scary is the people who had these ignorant views on life, they don't think they in the wrong, and they feel like they coming out the woodworks, and they feel like it's they truly feel like their way of thinking is nothing to be ashamed of and nothing to be embarrassed by.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a black guy that's in an interracial relationship, and I have three stepdaughters and a stepson that are white. You know, him being shot in front of his kids. That's literally my worst fear. Like, I mean, my stepson is 15, just turned 15. Sometimes we'll go to the barbershop. My worst fear is, somebody, a cop, seeing me and him in the car together and thinking something looks off with this
Mm-hmm.
picture, and pulling me over and drawing their own conclusions as to what's going on. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a it's just a real just the fucked up situation.
Yeah, and
We
I mean, I think as much, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, like that saying that this situation here was a racist situation, but that, like you said, that it's so prevalent out there, that it's hard to jump, having that emotional, I don't want to say connection, but that emotional thought process.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just, I think there's so much, as you said, that like, not only the police reform training, um, just the social justice that needs to come to fruition and really have a reform. Um, but I think it also comes down to conversations. And, I think we talked about it last week that, our friendship is unique and where I think we can talk about things and discuss different matters,
Hmm.
respect each other, respect each other's opinions, and, really have a truthful conversation. And you've got to have that in order to break down barriers, to see change, to see progress. Not so much. I mean, not everything in this world is bad. We don't need to change every single thing, but we need to make progress, and we need to do it expeditiously. Um, and I think there needs to be progress in all facets of society, not just in police reform or prison reform, but I think we've gotten away from making connections sometimes as families, sometimes with our neighbors, um, just societal and just friendships and connections with people that are maybe different than us. Whether it's a white, black, Hispanic, whether, it's maybe there's people with disabilities, people that are heterosexual versus homosexual, like we've got to break down those barriers and just show love all across.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Amen. I agree wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
And what we've seen is a lot of protesting that some have gone where it's turned a little bit violent. Some that's not violent, and it's still gets a lot of news and done, but it's done in a respectful way. That has a big impact is the Bucks, man. Milwaukee taking a stand, and they're doing their own protest, as a result of the other night, the incident the other night, and they boycotted their game 5 against the Magic this afternoon, and the other teams fell in line and did the same thing, and all the games for tonight were postponed. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, first off, I want to commend the Bucks on taking the stands because I mean, due to the fact that this happened right down the street, practically from them, they should be outraged because that's their police department that partook in this. Um, I applaud them. Athletes, especially today's athletes, I feel like they don't get enough credit for when they do the right thing. Um, is some things are bigger than sports. As much as we obviously, if you can't tell, we love sports, football, basketball, baseball, all of it. But yeah, some things are bigger than that, man. And I don't, I truly understand how they could feel like, what, this playing this game just don't sit right, no, on their heart, knowing what just took place back home, and then the other teams falling in line to show solidarity with their colleagues. I'm proud of them. I'm really really proud of them, and I it's the thing that sucks is change doesn't happen overnight. So people may look at them boycotting these games and thinking, well, what is boycotting the game going to do? It really, in hindsight, it doesn't do anything right now. But what it does do is it puts the owners of these teams on notice that they are willing to sacrifice their game checks and advertisement dollars for the NBA, that they're willing to sacrifice that so that these owners who are giving money to these political parties, it don't matter which political party you're giving money to, but they're giving money to these political parties, and they're close to these officials. They can start to put the bug in the ear of these officials and be like, hey, we got to start getting things in order for for things to change, man. I mean, I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's what we're asking for isn't a lot. We
Mm-hmm.
just want to be policed the same way that everybody else is policed, and that's not happening. I mean, I mean, just think of all the people that we lost to police brutality or senseless killings. We got George Floyd, Sandra Bland,
Breonna Taylor.
the yes, Breonna Taylor, and the list goes on, and it's sickening. It's sickening, and all we want. One day I was talking to Mike, and Mike said he said it with how Mike is. He makes everything a joke, but it made so much sense. He was like, "Man, I get it. All you want, you see people with cool shit, and you want cool shit too." And that's pretty much what it is. Like like we like oh wow, they get treated fairly. That would be nice. Can
Mm-hmm.
can can we get that over here? So yeah, man. Some gotta change. I mean, that's obvious, but
Yeah.
it's frustrating.
A lot has to change, and
Yeah.
like that's one aspect, and I talked about like that family aspect, and I think a lot of teachable moments, not only for the white community, but for the Black community. Like there's a lot of teachable moments that need to occur to make that change that we talked about. I don't want to. We were going to talk about all, how, man, the Magic stole game one and the Blazers and what was it? Championship Chuck was breaking out the broom. he was going to, they were going to sweep. But it's been all downhill for those two. Then tonight would have been, I know the Lakers would have probably, they were game 5 tonight. The Bucks were game 5 tonight. So that both those series could have been over, and we could have been talking about that and, and solidifying those two to go along into the next round with like the Heat and the Raptors. They swept their series. Actually, first time in the Raptors history that they've swept a series, which is crazy because, you think back, well, man, they had Kawhi, they won a championship, but they had some rough series last year. Think about the bounce against the 76ers.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
How, man, Luka's been balling,
Yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of good things coming out of that bubble, man. It's been a lot of the bubble has been such a positive thing because we discussed this before we started recording this podcast that, we were kind of skeptical on how it was going to look and, thought the product wasn't going to be as good, but man, this has been some really, really good basketball.
And I'm glad you said that because I've heard some things like where they're talking about, because there's no travel time, they're more well rested and relaxed and not having that jet lag of constant moving and staying in different hotels. That they're kind of getting comfortable. I heard that they're looking into maybe next year having some little tournaments here and there where like it's not as many teams invited, but then maybe they're housed for a little bit, kind of less travel in between games. It's kind of the talk out there. So, actually that'd be kind of cool, man. Like where, instead of the whole league or, like 20 something teams, but they'd have like a pocket of 10 here, pocket of 10 there. Kind of like, baseball, they'll play several games against the same team, back to back to back to back, kind of like a mini series in a sense. So that's kind of cool because I think they're well rested and playing better.
Yeah, I do too. My only gripe with it is like I heard someone say that maybe they should, keep the regular season the way that they traditionally have it, and then go to like a bubble aspect for maybe the first two rounds of the playoffs. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I love the bubble, but I think with the regular season, you're discrediting the regular season because getting the number 1 seed won't be as important. Like getting that home court, and I think home court advantage is it's so. I mean, just home court, home field advantages is so important, especially in basketball. So,
well, and then you think about all the other aspects that go on. I mean, you're talking if you just bubble, you want to send messages about revenue and things like that through some protests, maybe some action change occurs. But then you're also affecting a lot of jobs out there. There's how many thousands upon thousands of people that work at the arenas. The hospitality around the arenas, the downtown markets, like the influx of, people coming downtown to see a game. They go out, have some dinner beforehand or have some drinks after, a lot of aspects in there if you just bubble all the time. So
yeah,
I think it's great for now. And I thought it was it's a fantastic thing that's been very successful during this pandemic. But I don't know about the longevity of that. But I like the little pockets here and there, like a mini tournament. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, like how they do in college basketball. When they do like the Maui Invitationals and the preseason NITs. Yeah, it'd definitely be different. It'd be different. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I
Yeah.
also wouldn't be opposed to them cutting down some of the games in the season. Like I feel like 82 games is just too much. But that's probably just me being old, man. I mean, like I really, and I'm being serious. Like I really don't. I just don't see the point of playing. Your divisional foes 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the season is a long season, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
I mean, I think like in the shortened season, what was it, 99 when the Spurs won? And there was 54 games, I think it was. I mean, every game does have a lot more importance, you know.
Yeah, and it was the
Um,
same. They had another shortened season too, wasn't it? It was 2011, 12.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Um, yeah. I mean, every game has a little bit more importance. I don't think it's going to. I mean, it's hard, man. You know, because then you think salaries. I mean, I hate to bring it back to the almighty dollar, but you know
Yeah.
that those salaries have gotten much more inflated. You look at
Yeah.
last summer. You know, last summer, you know, it was what July 1. I mean, you know, Tobias Harris getting $180 million. I mean, you know, like what's his name that went from Boston to Philly? Oh God,
From Boston to Philly.
the center.
From Boston. Oh, Horford.
Yeah, Al Horford. Thank you.
Hmm.
Um, I kept thinking Okafor, but I'm like, that's not right. Al Horford, you know, he got a max deal, you know, to go over there. It's like, man, this money went rampant. I don't think we can have a shortened season. You know, they're going to need to get that revenue somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one day, one day.
So
Just me wishing.
I'm gonna get your yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Get your opinion about something. You know, we're hitting on some tough topics. One thing that did happen in the bubble was Montrezl Harrell in the middle heat of arguments. You know, in the middle of the game, and we talked about Luka balling.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I think if we're gonna have some racial justice and social reform, and you know, kind of, we want to even the playing field, right? You know, like we want to
Hmm.
make it. You want to make it equal. I think we got to look into things a little bit more. You know, Montrezl Harrell had a comment towards Luka. And for those that don't know, Luka Doncic, you know, he's a European European
Slo-
born, and
Slovenia, right?
I think so.
Hmm.
You know, but he's what, this is his sophomore season, or is it his third season?
I think it's his third.
Third.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's third. Yeah.
but making a lot of moves and headway because he is not just in the bubble, but he's been killing it lately.
Hmm.
Um, well, they're in a little bit of a back and forth. You know, Montrez, you know, called him, you know, excuse the language, but a bitch ass white boy. You know.
Yeah.
Um, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, I think if we're gonna do something, we got to kind of
Yeah. It goes.
draw a
It's a
line
two
in the
way.
sand.
Yeah. It's a two-way street. He had no business saying it. Um.
I mean, there's no suspension. There's been no fines. There's been really no mention of it too much. I mean, there's been a couple people that have said a few things, but
Yeah. I think.
beyond that,
I think him getting out in front of it. Sorry about that. I think him getting out in front of it on, like what this took place Friday night. They played Sunday, and as soon as he saw Luca on the court, he walked up and, um, apologized for any misunderstanding that they may have had. Um, my thing is this: there's no place for it at all. Um, when him making that comment, that only gives
I
the
know where you're going
people
with this.
the,
Yep.
the people with the all lives matter narrative fuel for their argument, because him discrediting Luca due to the color of his skin, that sounds like, okay, see, it's not it's not Black Lives Matter where they want equality. It's only Black Lives Matter, and
Right.
that's not the case at all. I'm not justifying what Montrez said. Um,
I mean, it's wrong because I mean, you put the
yeah,
shoe on the other foot, and if Luca says the same thing, except says a bitch ass black boy, or God forbid uses the N word. Um, I mean, it's there's no question that the gauntlet
yeah,
is handed down to Luca. Not only by the NBA, but then by
by society.
society, and
Hmm.
he's automatically a racist. And it at this point, then it wouldn't. He could do a million things, that help further the cause. He's got messages on the back of his jersey in his native language
Hmm.
that help, further the social justice and narrative in a positive manner. But that still wouldn't have any legs to stand on, had he said something like that. So I mean,
Yeah,
honest to goodness, I mean, if the NBA is doing a fabulous job in the bubble, I think they're doing a great job allowing some of the messages. I think Adam Silver and the NBA are top notch. They are leading the way in terms of professional organizations. I think they also, if they're going to, lead it that way, they need to lead it in the other way, and at least send a message. I mean, it's so easy to find someone. I mean, they could have easily assessed the fine and say, look, we're not going to tolerate it. Whether you meant it or not, whether somebody else meant what they said or not, you said it, you deal with the consequences. Here's a fine and or suspension. It's a zero tolerance at this point.
yeah, yeah. I would have. I wouldn't have been upset with a fine. The suspension, I think, it would have been a little too much because now you kind of, yeah. I mean, he was trash talking him, so it was just, like I said, I don't agree with what he said. He just let his emotions get the best of him, and he said something he had no business saying. Yeah, I would have been cool with a fine though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely would have been cool with a fine. Um,
I mean, I think at the minimum, you know, at
yeah,
least that.
I mean, but
It sends a message because then it just says, listen, yeah, you can be a heat of the moment, you can argue, and we're all, when you're being competitive and you're in there, yeah, you're talking smack, but I think we all need to be aware of and conscious of what is coming, the words that are coming out of your mouth.
yeah, yeah. You are correct. And then another thing that I found, you know, crazy about this was what Harold said is so not the truth. You get what I'm saying? Like, Luca is the absolute truth. I mean the Clippers know. I mean, last night, they beat them soundly last night, but game four,
Nobody even thought they'd be in this position like this.
yeah, in game four, I mean, Doncic dropped. He gave him 43. Let me look at this.
It
He
was
gave him
42,
43.
43,
Yeah, he
43,
gave him
yeah.
43,
And a game winner.
yeah, 43, 17, and 13. And a game winner for them to go home and think about.
Mm.
So,
Step back from deep
yeah, step back from
crossover.
three. So, it was,
You know what's funny though? You look at Allen Iverson killer crossover. You look at I don't know. He reminds me of like Kawhi, and not that he has the athleticism of a Kawhi, but you look at Kawhi, and it seems like Kawhi just kind of goes through the motions, and but he dominates the hell out of you,
yeah,
and he can do everything on the court. And I think the same thing with Luka. I don't think he. Everybody underestimates his speed, uh, his ability, but you don't see him getting the ball ripped from him too much. Somebody reaches in, oh, you're crossed over. Now I'm going to go do this. He's smooth, and I think that's what it is. It's just
I think
not
he,
too.
I think, I think he could stand to lose a little bit of the chubbiness
Yeah,
because I don't like the
he's
comparison
eating well,
to
man, in the bubble.
yeah, the comparison to Kawhi, like I'm not the easiest
No,
Kawhi fan.
let me not say he's on Kawhi though. What I'm saying is that it just doesn't seem like he's on another speed. He's
Yeah,
on another level, you know.
yeah. Like with the one thing about Kawhi to me when I watch him play, like I said, I'm not a huge Kawhi guy, but it just looks like he's floating. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
just looks so seamless and timeless. I mean, not timeless, but so effortless.
yeah,
With Luca, him being a 6'8" point guard that can do everything. Obviously, he can shoot the hell out of the ball, put it on the floor, spot up, one dribble, shoot, take it to the lane. With Luca, though, sometimes I feel like when he presses, he's trying to do a little too much, and then he can get out of control a little bit. So, but I think as obviously the longer he plays, the better he's going to get. Like I fully believe in the next 2 years, it's going to be Giannis and Luka.
hmm,
This is going to be theirs. The NBA is going to be theirs.
yeah.
With
Giannis is like,
yeah,
and he's developing that 3-pointer. Oh my God,
yeah,
it's just going to be amazing.
yeah. But
That's for
he
sure.
gonna have problems next round. I'm just saying he
I tell you what, are they even
that's
going to
me
have a
that's
next
me.
round? That's the question too, right
Yeah, I
now.
know,
That's the
I
big.
know, I
Does
know.
this jeopardize everything? So we'll see. I mean, time will
Yeah,
tell. I mean, is this just a one game, one night type protest, which it's got everybody talking, it's got us talking, which I think
yeah,
we're still like the number one of the fastest growing podcasts. So they got us talking.
yeah.
So
Then
there you go.
they're reaching the right people.
There you go.
They are reaching the right people. Uh, but I mean, I know we gonna get off the subject in a minute, but at the time that we started this, there have been several other professional leagues to have boycotts as well. Like the WNBA boycotted tonight. A couple of Major League Baseball games. I want to say the Brewers, rightfully so, and
Milwaukee. Yep.
yeah, they boycotted, and then I believe right as we was going on, I got a notification that the Dodgers and the Giants game got postponed, and I saw some of the excuse me, some of the MLS games got postponed as well. So, um, yeah, I I hope it's a one time thing, but if not, I completely understand.
Hmm.
But so have you heard about?
What's no? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, have you heard about your Miami Dolphins?
You
Well,
mean the greatest football team? Take the ball from goal to goal like no one's
like
ever seen?
it was on the ground and in the air. We're always in control. And
Hmm.
when you say Miami,
You're talking Super Bowl,
that's right.
which has been a
So,
long time ago. I mean, we're talking Super Bowl like Tecmo Bowl, Super Bowl.
man, bro, they sniffed a Super Bowl in '92 when they got beat by the Bills. I think that's the closest they've come. But
Hmm.
anyway, we digress. That's a whole nother podcast. But the
I don't think we'd have a
Dolphins,
podcast of that, man. Just
yeah.
that. Oh no, those we'd lose people watching this thing.
The Dolphins um, are going rogue, and they are going to allow fans at their home opener. They're going to allow,
Trendsetters.
yeah, they're going to allow 13,000 fans, which is 20% of the stadium's occupancy. What they obviously there are going to be a lot of changes made to going to a game as you would like you normally would. Um, Obviously, you got to wear a mask. They're
Hmm.
doing social distancing. So the way they're doing the social distancing is they're from the pictures that I saw, how they have the seating in the stadium is You got your clusters to where it's like 2 seats here, then maybe like at the most, it looked like maybe 4 people on a row, maybe 4 to 6 people on a row, all spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
They added um, new metal detectors, the walk through metal detectors that they have at the airport, or variants of it. Not
Mm-hmm.
maybe not the same exact ones. They are it's no tailgating. Um,
I'm out.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much why people go to football games in the first place. But yeah, no tailgating. So, um, which I'm not sure how they're gonna be able to stop that because what they're doing is instead of opening the gates 4 hours before the game like they normally do, they're gonna open them 2 hours before the game. Which I mean I can understand you can you can police people not sitting outside of their car with the lawn chairs and breaking out the grills. But I don't think you're gonna be able to police people from packing a cooler
Right.
in their trunk and sitting in the car having drinks and
Well, and
you know.
especially if I know you're going to talk about how they're going to let entry into the stadium, but I mean, if
Mhm.
you got time, why not?
Yeah, exactly. And then speaking on the entry to the stadium, um, I believe each ticket is going to come with a slotted time for you to enter the stadium. That way, they trying to control the traffic on people coming in, and then at the end of the game, they're doing it like how when you're a kid on a field trip and it's a bunch of students, they're having the ushers come down to the aisle to let you know when you can leave. Um, there's a few other things that they're doing. Like I think one of the ones that caught my attention was in their club section. Um, I guess the ventilation system that they have is like standard for. It's a standard ventilation system, pretty much. But they upgraded that to like a medical center, like a hospital ventilation system, so it could kill a lot more viruses in the air and things like that. So yeah, I mean they stepping out on the limb. I
And doing the call ahead, like concession stand orders and things like that as
Yeah,
well too.
yeah, call
So,
ahead. No touch toilets and sinks in the bathroom.
mhm.
That.
I mean, it's not like I think just out of every adverse situation, there will be some learning opportunities, and I think throughout all this, we're learning a lot with the NBA bubble, but I think this is also there will be some things that will stick. Um, I kind of like the order ahead. I mean, why not? Like instead
Yeah,
of waiting in line forever at a concession stand.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I think it makes sense. I think we'll see some good things,
yeah,
out of this.
yeah. I'm definitely a fan of it. Now I will tell you this: I won't be going.
I'm not going. No.
Yeah, yeah, I won't be going. But I think it's to the people that do want to go, as long as you abide by the rules, you got to have your mask and they're also this was another big one. They are cutting the sale of alcohol at halftime
Oh,
as
instead of the
opposed
end of
to
the third quarter.
instead of the end of the third quarter. So, um, yeah, I
How much?
think that
How much is that going to crash the system when they're doing the call aheads for that order? Everybody
oh
ordering at the end
yeah,
of
everybody trying to get their Bud Lights and Coronas
half.
and vodkas and crowns and everything in. Yeah,
That's going to
it's
crash the system first day, even with only 13K in the building.
yeah, I know, but yeah, man, I like it. I like the plan. I'm a fan of it. Um,
I mean, some people are ready to just give up their money, and
yep.
attend live. I mean, I'll have the best seat in the house, that's for sure, on my couch.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
I'm with you. I am with you wholeheartedly. I will not be attending. Oh, and
Speaking
they're
of,
they're
go
also
ahead.
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. They're also doing this. The Hurricanes have agreed to allow 13,000 fans because they share the stadium with the Dolphins. Um, which I was kind of surprised by because I thought that the ACC or the NCAA would have to sign off on that. But hey, I mean, if not, shit, we need all the competitive edge we can get. If we can get 13,000 people in there cheering for the Hurricanes, let's do it.
I mean, that's like a usual crowd right there, right?
You're gonna stop talking about my Hurricanes like that, dog.
Man, I love my Hurricanes too, but listen, you gotta sometimes you gotta call it as is, and we know a lot of people that friends of ours that maybe not quite as big of a Hurricane fan as us. They'll get a kick out of that comment. They're probably saying the same thing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't blame them because there's some empty seats out there, but we're coming back. We're coming back. But speaking of, I said something about that people will be ready to give up their money. Man, there's a story about where there's some companies that are taking your money without your permission.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh, this is not going to be good.
No, and I got to tell you a little personal story with that. So there's a big lawsuit going on against Chipotle. I love some Chipotle.
Yeah, Chipotle pretty solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I haven't been in a while. There's not really one too close, but yeah. So apparently, let's say you order a burrito bowl, some tacos, whatever the case might be. And let's say your bill comes out to, $7.40. Okay. And you're paying by cash. All right. You'd probably give them $8, right? Maybe even 10. Let's say you give them $8. They're going to say, the lawsuit is alleging that a lot of Chipotle's, due to the corn shortage, are saying, well, I'm sorry, we don't have the coins to be able to give you change. We're just going to go ahead and keep your 60 cents. And they've been pocketing people's money without their permission.
Oh, hell no.
To the tune of, when you think one Chipotle, but then you think the multiple chains of Chipotle, to the tune of hundreds upon hundreds of thousands, if not into the millions, that have been wrongfully collected and confiscated.
No, player, I need my 60 cent back. I need my 2 quarters and a dime, man.
Absolutely.
My thing with when I read about this, common sense is to round down. That's the simplest fix of any problem I've ever heard. Why can't you, if it's $7.40, why can't it just be $7 and let that be that?
Well, then the company's eating all those hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tarik, that just doesn't seem right.
Oh well.
Well. You know what? Include tax and round it off. If you tell me and you see the menu is, this is $8 flat as opposed to $7.40, and I see that it's $8, I'll probably pay the $8.
Yeah.
But if it comes out to $7.40 and I'm due back some change, give me my money.
Yeah. Don't try to hit me with the foolery and the trickery and talking about a coin shortage, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with me, man.
And you know what? And I kind of, not that I fell victim to this, but I actually went through the drive-through at a Wendy's the other day, and I got most of my change back, but it was like I was shorted a penny, and the lady literally says, "I don't have any more change. I don't have any more pennies. I don't have." My thought was, instead of giving me the 4 pennies, give me a nickel. You guys eat it. But I was just like, whatever, it's a penny. But think about, for me, it's just a penny. But the number of customers that go in, maybe it's not a penny. Maybe it's 23 cents. Maybe it's 78 cents.
Yep.
That adds up pretty quick. For the thousands upon thousands that they see every day.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it my money. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'd be upset about my change. Yeah, man. But so last week we did not assign homework assignments, which we had done previously.
Took a break.
Yeah, took a break. But I was scrolling through Netflix and I saw something that was interesting. And I think we should take a look at this and report back on it next week. So I saw this preview to this show called The Remix. I don't know how long it's been on Netflix, but it's from what I gathered, it's about uh, fashion and hip hop. So one, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this name, but there's an iconic stylist from New York by the name of Dapper Dan, who
Yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah. So he was very popular in the 80s and 90s with designing some of the high end fashion for the hip hop artists and things like that. So it speaks to they dive into his story. Um, it's another young lady who started a line called Walker Wear, which I I always thought the name of the company was Baseline because it had the emblem that looked like a little baseline. But
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
remember that? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, the name of the company was Walkerware, which I was kind of blown by because that baseline is actually two W's.
Hmm.
Um, and then um, it speaks about a couple of other fashion stylists. One young lady who I want to say her name correctly. Uh, can't this? I'm looking right at her. I want to say Milton, Keisha Milton, not Keisha. It's not Keisha. Anyway, um,
Keisha, do you love me?
that's
Sorry, sorry.
Kiki. Boy, that's
Kiki, that's
Kiki.
right.
Jesus, Donald. But anyway, yeah. So she's a very well known fashion designer who I mean stylist who styled tons and tons of hip hop artists from Diddy to Lil Kim to Mary J. Blige, and the list goes
Okay.
on and on. So it looked real interesting, and it's not
Sure,
a
it's got a
long.
good soundtrack behind it too. Some good music.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not a long watch. I believe it's only maybe a little over an hour, like maybe an
Oh,
hour and 6 minutes.
okay.
So yeah, watch that, and
I'm
then
down. Let's do it.
all right, cool. Yeah, so
Then
we
we'll talk
watch
about
that,
it
and then
next week.
yep, yep.
Awesome. Sweet. And what was it called again?
It it was called The
The
Remix.
remix. All right.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
yeah,
Good deal, man. Hey, listen, man. We got into a lot of some heavy topics today, man. Um,
yeah. We did.
yeah. But you know, I said earlier that conversations need to happen. You know, they need to occur, and I think the way that we this and I mentioned this before, and I know I've told you that this is kind of what maybe even think of, like, let's do this, man. Let's have this pod, and because we need to have more people having these conversations the way that we do, and I enjoy when we have this dialogue, this open dialogue that we do. So it's a little glimpse into our world to those of you out there.
Yeah, yes, it's definitely healthy dialogue. It's you know, we we can't have the group think thing the way it's good to get different perspectives
Hmm.
on things that's going on.
And we always say, we hope to make you laugh. We got a little bit of a laughs in today, but we always say we hope to make you think. And I think this pod certainly was one that is thought provoking,
Hmm.
make you uh, just sit back and really be kind of be reflective, and understand what's going on and how we can make a difference. And it starts with the small seeds, and they will certainly grow and get bigger. So with that said, we make you think today. But of course, we say we always make you have a drink and enjoy a drink with us. So it's that time for us to do some party shots, man. So well,
Yes,
what
yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and reach over here. It's not cold. It's gonna be warm. I got me a little fireball.
Okay. And I too have Fireball. I have a gigantic Fireball. What the fuck is going on? Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Jeez.
It doesn't
Okay.
look too gigantic now that it's come in the picture. But I don't know. Maybe the glass is big.
Man.
All right. Well, hey, listen to another great pod. We'll bring some laughs back to you next week. Kobe, Mamba, happy birthday, Mamba week.
Yeah.
And great show again.
Yeah.
Love you, brother. All
Love
right.
you too, my man. Cheers.
Oh, boy, that's warm. Oh, here it comes. Let me. Oh, no, no,
No, I'm good. I'm
no,
good.
no, no.
I'm good.
Oh,
I
all
was
right.
strong. I was strong this week. I was strong this week.
I love it. I love it. Well, we all got to stay strong. And listen, like I said, man, great show. All of you out there that have been listening and following us each week, hey, I love it. We love it. Let us know what you did a pardon shot of, what you were sipping on. Leave a comment, drop a comment, not only on Facebook, but also on the YouTube channel as well too.
Yes, yes, yes. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to that YouTube channel.
Look out for the Twitter coming.
It's under construction, baby.
It's under
construction.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. All right, tell people to check us out too. And let us know, man. Be truthful. Give us some comments, some feedback. What would you like us? What would you like us to do better? But be nice as well too.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't come for our necks.
You know what? Maybe if you heard there's something you want us to dive a little deeper into. Maybe a little bit with our history. I know one of our friends out there got a kick out of our skids, or the
Yeah.
overalls.
Yeah.
We are not wearing those.
Oh
Those
no.
pictures probably exist somewhere, maybe in a yearbook somewhere or something. I don't know, but I am not putting on some skid overalls right now.
Well, I can guarantee you, I done ate myself out them damn skid overalls. I can guarantee you that, buddy. It's just it ain't no way in hell I can get my fat ass in them damn skids now. I can tell you that, Jack. That ain't happening. But yeah,
That'd be
we.
skids. What
Yeah,
size you wear?
it'll be
Skids.
ain't a skid. It'll be a skirt. Oh man.
Oh boy, that's funny. Oh goodness gracious, you're a trip, man. You crack me up.
Oh
Hey, I'm
God.
gonna let them on a little something. We always talk all the time. Whether it's through text or calling each other as well. But Tarik wanted to bring up one other aspect on this, and I told him he sits on a throne of lies.
Oh.
He wanted to say one of the topics he wanted to bring out was how beautiful of a man he is, and
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read them what I thought the show rundown should have been. This was yesterday, so this was prior to today's events and all of the boycott. So I put Dolphins allow 13K, Luca legend, time to get the broom time, let's go Heat, justice for Jacob Blake, and finally, how am I, being me, Tarik, is such a handsome guy, and you, being Donald, John, Mike, John and Mike are such the opposite. Boom, there goes the show. I think that's a great show.
boom, there goes the show.
Yeah, I think it's a winner. And some people didn't agree with it. I don't know why, but well, maybe I get them to come around to it. I mean,
He thought that was a winner, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean it is. It's kind of the truth, but
All right, I'll give it to you, man. You're my boy. You're my
oh,
boy.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I don't
I
know about the
appreciate
opposite thing, but it's all good.
nah, I'm just talking shit. I gotta give you
Oh
a
yeah,
hard time.
that's
Give
for
you a
sure.
hard time. It
That's for
wouldn't
sure.
be us if I didn't do that.
Absolutely, man. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of the DT Lounge. And as always, we'll be back soon with another episode.
Yes. Peace.
Peace out, people.